So we have looked at the fact that most of our managers and most of the people in authority are human, and that they are able to assist. But we didn't really explore the fact that you still have an issue admitting that you have a challenge. So let's turn this away from work. Let's turn this personal. You are in a situation where you are not coping with housework and this and that. You might not be coping financially. You might not be coping juggling all the things that you need to be juggling. But what are the odds that you are sitting your partner down before you are overwhelmed and go like, look, I need help. You can't, you need to help with cooking, or you need to help me with bathing the kids in the evenings, or, please do the dishes. This is a 50-50. It's got a lot to do with how we were raised. If you were raised in a household where your mother did everything and your mother coped with everything, we carry guilt when we look at what our parents were able to do and what we are not able to do. The difference is times have changed. My mom was a working mom. She was a teacher. And we would get home and she had to cook. So while she was cooking, she would sit us down and we had to do our homework there at the kitchen table while she was cooking. And then we had to read and that. And Mom coped for all practical purposes, except when it came to ironing and cleaning the house. You can't expect somebody that sometimes works 6 days a week to still get to the house in totality. So she sat my dad down and she said to him, listen, I don't mind the cooking because while I'm cooking, the kids are doing the homework and the kids are with me. And even while she was coaching sport, we would sit next to the sport field doing our homework on our backpacks or on our suitcases. Different story. What I'm trying to say is she sat my dad down before she got overwhelmed. When she realized that she's not getting to everything, she sat him down and she said to him, listen, is it possible for us to get somebody to help me, Mom, with cleaning the house? It doesn't have to be 2 times a week. It doesn't have to be 3 times a week. Maybe just once. Now, I grew up in a very average family. We did not roll in money, but we never had a lack of anything. We had exactly enough. So they sat down, they did their mathematics and, did the money sums, and it worked out. But imagine the fallout if Mom waited until she was completely overwhelmed and feeling guilty about the fact that she's not getting to everything and feeling like she's a failure because she is neglecting her duties. Imagine the fallout then. It would have been an emotional breakdown moment where my mom is just crying her eyes out. My poor dad's like, how did we get to this? Where is this coming from? Because she never voiced what she experienced timeously. So in your personal life, in your everyday, in your work life, don't wait until you are officially drowning before you open up your mouth. Because the emotional charge that you are carrying in that moment is immense and it's an explosion. So what I'm trying to say is, if you see that you're not coping, speak about it as soon as you realize that there's a challenge, because the solution is sometimes quite simple. If you keep your mouth closed and you don't talk about it and you have an emotional explosion, you are overwhelming the people that you are exploding towards because they never knew that there was a challenge. where if you voice it early enough, you have a 85 to 95% chance that they would go like, sure, let's make a plan. And this is applicable to anything in a relationship. Whether you are experiencing an overwhelming feeling of being neglected, don't wait until there's such a big charge before you open up your mouth. Sit down and explain, this is what I'm feeling, this is why I'm feeling like this, so that the person on the other end is clear on what the situation in the moment is, where if you leave it, it's going to be an explosion, and it's not necessary to always have explosions, because explosions usually have casualties. Have a nice week.